So not every membership is a cult, but every cult is a membership. And every membership has the seeds of potential to become a cult if left unchecked. And with the rise of subscription-based services in the field of spirituality is why I wanted to make this video, so that you can consciously look at who and what you are financially subscribing to, especially in the field of spirituality, because where there is an owing, there is an owning. And in subscription-based memberships, there is an owing. We are existing in a time in human history where it is so important to retain sovereignty over your consciousness. So this is a really important video. It may be controversial, that's okay. But I wanted to share the difference between a guru business model and a sovereign business model, and why I actually have to work harder now to retain a sovereign business model online. So that's what we're doing today. So my name is Hedley, and if you are here, you are in the right place, because I will not ask you to join a members-only group that you will then have to pay a monthly subscription to, and I will not provide you any products that require a monthly subscription. The reason being is you are the infinite I am of your reality, and I am is the only authority. I am only here to remind you of what you already know but may have forgotten. That is it. Now, I do have offerings that are pay-as-you-go offerings. So if you would like to develop your understanding of I have one-to-one coaching available. I have my book, I Am Money. I have some courses, and I'm just setting up a new monthly coaching call, all which are pay-as-you-go, which is aligned with a sovereign business model. And that sovereign business model is to enable me to retain my sovereignty and to protect your sovereignty. So we can come in and remember who we are as the infinite I am, but we're not bound to each other. You are not bound to me, I am not bound to you, and we can simply come in together and participate in this awakening, in this up-leveling and remembering of who we are, and then go about our realities with sovereignty. Now, if you are enjoying my channel and you're finding my videos useful, then I would love it if you did subscribe to my channel, which is free. What you're doing by making that free subscription is you're saying, I like this channel, I'm finding it useful, but I'm not bound to it. And I am not owing anything to it. And that is really important to retain your sovereignty. And remember that there is only one authority, and that authority is I am. So with that said, let's get into it. As a student of I am aware that to be a teacher of I must retain sovereignty, and I must protect the sovereignty of anyone who is listening to me. And what that means is there's no room to become a guru. There's no room to become the authority of I am, because the whole point of these teachings is to remind you that I am is the one and only authority, and I am comes before your name. Now that gets a little bit more tricky as you start to run a business teaching I am, which is why I made a very conscious decision a long time ago that I would retain a sovereign business model. And a sovereign business model is a pay-as-you-go business model. What that looks like is, here on my channel, all of my videos are free, and in my videos, I offer a lot of practical content. I offer a lot of techniques. I share a lot, and it's all for free, and you can subscribe to my channel, and that is free. Now, if you want to deepen your understanding, I have created some products at different price points that just go deeper. Each of those products or services are pay as you go. And that has been a very, very conscious decision, despite this online world that I am existing in being one that wants to push you into a subscription-based or a member-based subscription model. And I do not want to do that, because as soon as I do that, I am giving up some of my sovereignty. You may have heard this saying where people say there is no place that the ego loves to hide more than in spirituality or in self-help or personal development. That is the ego's favorite hiding place. The beautiful thing about I am, and the thing that I love about I am, is it means that you can never be above or below anyone, because I am is the one that comes before my name. Now, there are people in our reality that will help remind us of the one that comes before our name. And that's what I like to think I'm doing here. But there is an exponential rise in the subscription-based services within these teachings. And that's where there are issues, because the subscription-based model is the business model behind every single cult. As I said in the introduction, not every membership is a cult, but every cult is a membership. And that membership is founded on paying regular money to that organization or to that teacher on a regular basis, which enables that company or service or teacher to continue giving you content or products or services or whatever it is. Now, the term subscribe means to underwrite. Sub is under, scribe is write. When you subscribe to a business, a service, or a teacher, you are underwriting their business. You are essentially saying, I will pay you first. I will assume the financial risk before you give me the service or the content. Most people are not conscious of this because the subscription model has just become the default model, and everyone's like, oh, you've got to get a subscription. While the subscription business model is far more convenient than the pay-as-you-go model, there is a greater price you are paying over the financial amount that you're paying every month, and that is your sovereignty. Where there is an owing in reality, there is an owning of consciousness. And I have done a video on this, on debt consciousness, how to get out of debt. Because where there is debt, there is an owing. And the etymology of owing is to own. So that who you owe money to owns your consciousness. That who owns your consciousness essentially owns your life. And we will all have a number of subscriptions that we're signed up to. I myself have a number of subscriptions. However, those subscriptions that I have signed up for are made very, very consciously, and none of them involve any form of spirituality or spiritual teachers. The reason being, as soon as you bring subscription-based models into spirituality, you are essentially going against the whole point of the teachings, which is sovereignty, which is command over consciousness. I was shocked at how difficult it was for me to retain my sovereign business model when I wanted to set up a monthly coaching call for people who wanted extra support with their I am work. Obviously, I want to do it in the most effective and efficient way. But I also want to retain my pay-as-you-go business model because that protects my sovereignty and it protects your sovereignty. That means you can come and go as you please, and we are not bound to each other. And that is incredibly important when I believe teaching any form of spiritual teachings. So when I went to set up the monthly group call, the platform that I used kept pushing me into setting up a subscription-based service because it's easier. If I just set it up once and then people sign up to a subscription, then that's just money coming in every month. That sounds great, except there's a price that I and you pay for that. We become bound to each other, and that's where the unhealthiness can start to grow. So I want to protect myself from that. I want to protect you from that. So I want to maintain that pay as you go. Now, in order to do that, I am actually making things harder for myself and harder for you. It's actually far more inconvenient to retain sovereignty over consciousness these days. It's far more convenient to just throw a little bit of sovereignty away for the convenience of not having to do that every month. But the issue, again, that I see with the subscription-based service, especially in spirituality, is that once you engage in a monthly payment program, there is a possible losing of discernment. What that means is, because you're paying a monthly fee every month, you want to ensure that you are receiving value for that money. So therefore, it's in your best interest to agree with the content that is coming towards you each month. You stop discerning and deciding whether or not the information is appropriate for you. Whereas with a pay-as-you-go business model, which is the one I have, you can look at my content and say, yes, I'm interested in that. No, I'm not interested in that. And therefore, you're not paying for anything that you don't feel is aligned with you. And that enables you to remain sovereign over your consciousness. You get to choose what you're going to invest in. And of course, you don't have to invest in anything. You can just continue watching my channel completely for free for the rest of your life and never have to pay a cent. And that's also very important, because as soon as I set up a members-based only part of my channel, now you're going to feel like you're missing out. Now you're going to feel like, oh, hang on a second, I'm not as special as the people who are in the members group. All of this sets up the pedestalizing of the teacher. It sets up the guru mentality, and it strips you just a little bit of your sovereignty. And that is not what I Am is about. That's not what these teachings are about. I Am is the one and only authority, and I Am comes before your name, and the only way you can access I Am is through you. Now, in the preparation of this video, I naturally looked at all the organizations and services I subscribe to. One of them being YouTube. I love YouTube. And of course, I'm here providing a service on YouTube, so I feel that it's fitting that I have a subscription to YouTube. I also have a subscription to Google Business, and I love that. That's very helpful for my business. The only subscription I subscribe to in this field is InnerTune. The only reason I subscribe to that app is because I can record my voice on that app. So I can record my affirmations and sleep with them overnight. So even though I am paying a monthly or a yearly subscription fee to InnerTune, that app is helping me to increase my relationship with I Am. It's my voice. It's my affirmations. I can also use theirs, but I choose to use mine. And so I look at that subscription and I go, okay, well, that's aligned with my relationship between first and second person. The organizations who are the most successful organizations in the world are the ones who have your consciousness, and you will find that behind all of them is a subscription-based business model that will have you owing them every month. And where there is an owing, there is an owning. And that owning is of your consciousness. And where somebody owns your consciousness, there is a loss of sovereignty. And the more subscriptions to spirituality or teachers that you have, the less ownership you have of your consciousness. So when it comes to I Am, be very, very clear, be very, very conscious as to who you are engaging in a paid subscription with. Your consciousness has never been more valuable. The one you owe your attention to is the one that comes before your name, and that name is I Am, and that is free. I Am is free. I Am will always be free. And if you would like to deepen your understanding of that free relationship within yourself, then yes, there are some of these products that can help you do that you can pay once off and that's it. With my coaching, I have clients that I've worked with for many years, but they continue to pay as they go. The most amount of coaching sessions that anyone can buy at one time is 3. And by paying as they go, they retain sovereignty. They retain authority over their consciousness. They are making a very conscious choice. And that is really important in this work, is never falling into the trap that something or someone out there is the authority over you or is the voice of I Am. As I said, the ego loves to hide in spirituality, and it will hide in subscription-based business models, which is why I am incredibly protective of my sovereign business model, which is a very simple, conventional pay-as-you-go. The one you are bound to is I Am. The one you want to be bound to is I Am, always and forever. So that's the difference. Be very, very, very conscious, intentional about who you are financially subscribing to. And if there is an organization that makes it difficult for you to get out of that subscription, then run as best you can. It's getting harder and harder, but as best you can. Retain sovereignty. Stay with I Am, stay sovereign, stay discerning, and I will look forward to seeing you in the next video. Okay, bye.